Hello, this is Andrea, and today is Wednesday, the 17th of August, 2022. It's just 1 week until my surgery. And it looks kind of overcast outside, but I haven't been outside today to see how it's doing. I did get something interesting for you to look at today. So, here it is. Tell me what you think. Do you know what it is? I'm going to tell you, but I'll let you guess. This thing moves around. Wait a minute. Yeah, here's the little, this moves around. And what you do is, you line up the year, so the years are in here. I think it goes from 1974 to 1992. You line up the year with whatever month it is, and it tells you the days of the week. Okay, what date, what number is on what day of each week, right? So this is called a perpetual calendar. It's made out of brass, I believe, and it has a little stand. I think I got this. They used to have these. See, when I was growing up, I went to this church. It was a Lutheran church. And once a year, they'd have the church bazaar. Which sometimes they'd have two. Sometimes they'd have the summer one, and sometimes they'd have, well, it was like a fall one. Yeah, I guess it was just one. They'd call it the church bazaar or the Christmas bazaar. And people would sell old stuff there. All the money went to the church. People would sell their old stuff there, or they'd sell crafts. You know, some things they crocheted and stuff like that. So a lot of these kinds of things that I have, I bought there. And it's weird, I can't really read much of what's on here anymore. My son was helping me read it. I even had a magnifying glass out. But I used to be able to read all the words on this. And I can't anymore, but I just love it. Like, there's a texture to it. There's like a bumpy texture, and it's got some red and yellow colors on it. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, some of the yellow is still left there and some of the red. But I love stuff like this. So there's something old for you to look at. Now, you can still do the perpetual calendar. You just have to know which years. Like, I'd have to write up a whole new thing of which year is which. This was just for, I guess I could make a paper wheel type one and put the right years in it, but it's interesting. I love things with numbers on them. I love calendars and rulers and calculators and, well, yeah. So, I think I've showed you before that I have some antique books. I have more than a few. I would say I have several, but I have a few that I've had since I was a kid that I did buy at those church bazaars. And if I find a link to the ones I'm talking about, I'll put it in the, all right, I don't know which corner it'll be, but it'll be like a little link card up here and in the description. But I have some old books from, one's like 1780 something, and one's 18 something, and then one doesn't have a date on it. And you know, I've been doing junk journaling lately, and I'm watching different people do junk journals, and there's some junk journalists. I mean, I love the work and everything, but there's like this one lady, she must have a ton of money. She'll buy expensive old books and then tear them apart and put them into junk journals. And it is very disturbing to me. It's like, I feel like it like hurts when she does it. Cause like, I don't just love books, and I don't just love old books, but I love the old typesettings. And these old books, like, they were individually typeset on the old machines, you know, with the individual, like someone would come out and put all the letters in there and do that page, you know. I love the art of it. I love to look at it, you know, and to think this has been around for more than 200 years, you know. It's hard to find very old books because books used to be for rich people before the rich people in the church, before the printing press was invented. So, and that's some interesting history right in itself. So I have had the privilege to see some handwritten and illuminated books in person from like the 1400s. Not to touch them or anything like that. You don't touch them, but anyway, let's just say I love books a lot. So I thought, I have these 3 books that are very old, and I've had them since I was a child because I love them so much. They're beautiful to look at. Like I said, look for the link. I'll put it in the description below and in a card type thing. So I was trying to figure out, is there like a way I can donate it to a library? And I looked that up and I found a thing for the Library of Congress. And it talks about donating to the Library of Congress, and it tells you to look up the books in the Library of Congress to see if they have them already. So I looked them up. One of them they didn't have, okay? So the one that they didn't have, it's written in German and it was published in Reading, Pennsylvania. So I submitted like a request form, or I don't know what kind of form they call it, but it's for them to decide if they'll accept that as a donation. The other 2, one I know wasn't republished, and I was surprised they had it. It was like a book of sermons. These are like, it's like this thin and it's this size, but they had that one. The other one I know has been republished several times, and that's Plutarch's Lives, but I have a very, very old copy of it, and it has a beautiful cover. It's small, because most books were very small when they were being mass-produced back then. So, anyway, I'm hoping that the donation is accepted and I'll get to send that book in, because I wonder what's going to happen, you know, like to the books. I want to make sure something happens good with them, you know, or if there's nowhere to send them to, I'm at least going to enjoy them for myself for as long as I can. And sometimes I do show them to people that love books, but usually I keep them hidden away. They're hidden away. You can't find them. So we've watched a couple movies lately. One was Purple Heart. What was the other movie we watched besides Purple Heart? We watched Purple Heart. It's like a romantic movie. Purple Hearts. Bob said he liked it, but it had too much music. Because the girl in it's supposed to be a singer, or she's, you know, an aspiring musician. But, I don't know. It was fine. It was kind of romantic, so.
It was so formulaic. It was
formulaic. The only reason we watched it is because people were complaining about the movie online, and I'm like, it's probably just a way to advertise it, you know. And yeah. I could have sworn we watched something else too, though.
I'm watching We Are Marshall right now.
Yeah, Bob's watching We Are Marshall.
I've never seen it before.
Oh, you haven't?
No, so I'm watching it.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen it or not. I'm not a big fan of sports movies. Here's how you know. Guess what my favorite sports movie is?
Caddyshack.
Well, besides Caddyshack. I mean, typical sports movies. Moneyball.
good movie.
And it's because I love numbers and I love math. So that's what got me about Moneyball. I know a lot of people got mad at that movie, but I'm like, it was interesting, you know? So, but these other ones, these sports ones, these feel good. I mean, I've been on sports teams. Well, most of the sports teams I've been on, you're together, but you're not playing as a team. Like, I haven't been on basketball or anything. Like in high school is when I was in sports. And I was in gymnastics, which you do all by yourself. And I was in cross country, and I was in track and field, but I mostly did field events. The only time I did track events is if they didn't have enough people for the relay, because I was a distance runner, not a speed run. You know, there's two different kinds of running that people excel at. They're either good at sprinting or they're good at running for very long periods of time. That's called distance running. So I used to do distance running. So I never really was on a team where it's like, oh, you go out there and we'll throw the ball to you. And I mean, I played sports at home and on, what do you call it? You know, around friends and stuff like that. But yeah. And the thing is, in high school, in junior high and high school, I wanted to play football and soccer, and those two things were only available to males. And then if you did make a big deal about wanting to play it, then everybody's looking at you and making a big deal. I just wanted to play. The only thing they had like that was field hockey, and you had to play with these little candy cane looking things. And I wasn't good at hitting the ball with the tiny little... You got this little candy cane looking thing, and there's only one little spot really that hits the ball. It's not like the kinds of hockey sticks you would have in ice hockey or anything like that. So, I liked playing basketball, but I wasn't good at shooting from a distance. And I never really played basketball because there was like a group of girls in school. You know, they had like cliques, and if you didn't kind of fit into that clique, you'd feel weird if you went out for the team. And those cliques, it was the same girls in basketball that was in field hockey, so I never went out for basketball. And I'm no good at volleyball, or tennis. Well, I don't like tennis. Anyway, I don't know how this changed to a sports talk. Oh, because we were talking about sports movies. And Bob said the other movie he watched was Margin Call. I only saw parts of it, so. And what'd you think of Margin Call?
It was interesting. It's based on...
I thought you'd just tell me what you think.
I don't know. I don't know if it was based on an actual firm or if it's just supposed to be based on the kind of stuff that happened. It was set on the very beginning of the financial, the housing market mess with all the mortgage-backed securities being crap and stuff like that. And it was interesting to see how one company who was trading in them had to deal with it. She said, "This is where one of these guys is going to get killed." I'm saying, it's not that kind of movie.
Well, if they would have wanted to hide it, but instead they did
It wasn't. I think it's based on real stuff, but I don't know if it was real firm or just a generalized that kind of thing. But it was interesting.
They were basically using the wrong math for the kind of securities they were doing.
Well, there was higher risk than what
they were using math from another type of securities. Yeah. They weren't using the kind that... They should have developed new math for these housing mortgages that were being bundled together. Yeah. Anyway. You gotta go now because you're not officially
in this video.
He said he's not in this video this time.
I said I wouldn't do another video until I could show my jelly.
I didn't know you wanted to say that.
I don't care.
Okay. Well, I guess that's all I got for today. I hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.